There are moments in life where the weight of hopelessness is so heavy, even the air feels too thick to breathe. Luna felt that weight pressing down on her, pregnant, abandoned, and lying in a cold shelter. But what she didn't know was that this would be her last day, or so everyone thought. Luna hadn't always lived like this. She once had a family, a place to call home. But when her owners discovered she was pregnant, they decided she was too much of a burden. Without a second thought, they loaded her into the back of their car and drove her to the shelter, leaving her confused and scared at the door. The shelter workers tried their best to make her comfortable, but with dozens of other animals coming in every day, there simply wasn't enough space or resources to give Luna the care she needed. Every morning she watched people come and go, hoping one of them might take her home. But they always passed by her cage, their faces showing a fleeting glance of pity before moving on. For most dogs, the shelter offers a glimmer of hope, a chance at a second life. But for Luna, that hope was fading with each passing day. And as her belly grew larger, the chances of anyone adopting her shrank smaller. The shelter staff, overwhelmed with new arrivals, had to make a painful decision. They scheduled Luna for euthanasia. She would be gone before her puppies even had a chance to take their first breath. It was a gray morning when Luna's final day arrived. A cold drizzle fell outside as if the sky itself was mourning what was about to happen. The shelter worker opened Luna's cage slowly, her heart heavy with sorrow. Luna stood on shaky legs, her belly weighing her down, but she obediently followed the worker, as if sensing that resistance wouldn't change anything. She whimpered softly as they neared the sterile room. The smell of disinfectant was strong, and the metallic clang of the door closing behind them sent a shiver down Luna's spine. She paused for a moment, her eyes meeting the shelter workers, a silent plea. In her eyes you could see the weight of everything she had been through. But more than that, you could see something deeper, a quiet desperation not just for her own life, but for the tiny lives growing inside her. The veterinarian, Dr. Emily, stood by the table, syringe in hand. She had done this countless times before, but something about Luna made her pause. There was an intensity in Luna's eyes, a raw emotion that was impossible to ignore. As the worker lifted Luna onto the table, Luna let out a low, mournful cry. She nudged her swollen belly with her nose as if trying to show them what was at stake. The cry wasn't just a sound, it was a plea, a desperate prayer for the lives inside her. It was in that moment, amidst the cold tools and sterile surroundings, that something shifted. Luna's cry wasn't just the sound of an animal, it was the cry of a mother fighting for her children, even when the world had given up on her. Dr. Emily blinked back tears. She had spent years in this field, but no amount of experience could prepare her for this moment. With a shaky breath, she set the syringe down on the counter. The shelter worker, stunned, looked at her in disbelief. But something in Dr. Emily's voice made it clear, Luna had just earned herself a second chance. The shelter worker placed a frantic call to the nearest rescue group. Time was running out. Luna was not just pregnant, she was in labor. They needed help and they needed it fast. The minutes ticked by, each one feeling like an eternity. Luna lay on the table, panting heavily, her body trembling from the effort of keeping her puppies inside for just a little longer. Dr. Emily knelt beside her, gently stroking Luna's head, whispering, "Hold on, girl. Just a little longer." And then the call came. A local animal rescue group had agreed to take Luna in. They were on their way. But the question remained, would they make it in time? Or would Luna be forced to give birth in the back of a van, miles away from proper care? The rescue van arrived just as Luna's contractions grew stronger. 2 volunteers carefully wrapped her in a blanket and carried her to the van. Dr. Emily followed them, unwilling to leave Luna's side after everything they had been through. The drive to the rescue center was tense. Luna whimpered softly, her breathing shallow and rapid. Dr. Emily held her close, whispering soothing words, trying to keep her calm as the van sped through the rain-soaked streets. Finally they arrived at the clinic. Luna was rushed into a warm room, where a team of veterinarians and volunteers stood ready to help her. Luna's body trembled with exhaustion, but she pushed through the pain. One by one her puppies entered the world, each one greeted with cheers and tears. Dr. Emily stayed by Luna's side the entire time, gently wiping her face and telling her how brave she was. After hours of labor, Luna gave birth to 6 beautiful puppies. As the last one was born, she let out a soft, contented sigh, resting her head against Dr. Emily's hand. Luna's story didn't end there. Over the next few weeks, she stayed at the rescue center, surrounded by love and care. She nursed her puppies, watching them grow stronger with each passing day. And for the first time in a long time, Luna felt safe. She felt loved. Every wag of her tail, every nuzzle from her puppies, was a reminder that she had made it. Against all odds, Luna had found her way back to life. Word of Luna's miraculous rescue spread quickly. Adoption applications poured in, not just for the puppies but for Luna herself. And after everything she had been through, Luna found the perfect home. A family that adopted her and one of her puppies, ensuring they would stay together forever. Luna's new family sent regular updates to the rescue center. She spent her days playing in the backyard with her puppy, her golden coat shining in the sunlight. At night, she curled up on the couch with her new owners, finally knowing what it felt like to belong. Luna's journey from the brink of death to a life filled with love is a powerful reminder of the impact kindness can have. It takes just one moment of compassion to change everything, for an animal and for the people who choose to save them. Any dogs like Luna, forgotten, scared, and running out of time. But you can make a difference. Adopt, foster, volunteer, or support your local animal rescue organizations. Because every act of kindness has the power to save a life.